Okay, hi.
Hi, Tracy.
Hello, hello. It is so nice to see some faces that I know, some brand new faces, and what a beautiful opening we had in dancing and connecting to our bodies, which has a direct correlation to spirituality. So I'm going to walk around a lot because then I can see you all and connect with you all. What I'm interested in is practical spirituality. Because if something is too complex or too enigmatic, then you think it's untouchable, then you don't consider it really a part of yourself, you don't realize that it's accessible, and you're denying the foundational truth of every being in this world. So I'm not going to drop the foundational truth yet. But when I do, I'm going to ask you to embrace it. Because when you do, everything expands, you exhale, life gets easier, you break the hustle and the hard and the depth of insecurity that's been plaguing you and your procrastination and your hiding and your hesitation and your doubt, and all of that low-level consciousness eradicates by one choice. So, we're also going to talk about how your spirituality connects to your creativity, by the way. But show of hands if you consider yourself connected to your spirituality. Amazing. You guys don't even need this talk. Just kidding. Let's dance again. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so I want to cover so that we're all having the same language. Oh, that's me. Okay. This is what spirituality actually is. Spirituality is science. Spirituality is science, and I just want to say this out loud. Pay attention to your body, pay attention to your mind as I'm talking. Don't go eye glazed over on me. Be here. This talk can change your life. It will definitely change your wealth. It will definitely change your impact. And it will definitely change your ability to feel the way you want to feel at any given moment by one choice. Spirituality is science. It is understood. It is measurable. Spirituality, in the way that we're going to define it here as a community and a collective, is, to what Jenny said, something bigger than us, something greater than us at play. The fact that every single one of us are connected, like we felt as we were dancing together and you took some of the guards down, which is your humanness, by the way, right? We are all connected to a oneness. We are all connected to something greater. And every one of you, when you are allowing yourself to connect to your spirituality, are allowing your higher selves to come through, to be louder and stronger and lead you. Are you with me still? Okay, good. Let's talk about what spirituality is not. It is not religion. Okay? That's easy. But let's just spend a minute on the second one. What comes up for you, because I don't need to talk at you, you can talk at me too. What comes up for you when I tell you spirituality is not woo-woo? Excitement? What comes up? Just be with me. Freedom. Are you like, what the hell is she saying? I could, yes? Yes, like what?
Bullshit. Smoke and mirrors.
Ooh, wait, unintelligent. What is spirituality or woo-woo?
No.
Oh, okay, yes, I love you, thank you. So when we think woo-woo, listen to that, right? Unintelligent. When we think woo-woo, what else?
Bullshit.
It's bullshit.
Not grounded in science.
Oh, it's not grounded in science. Well, that's the bullshit. Okay, I'm telling you, I live, breathe, sleep, eat, and teach this. So for my students and clients that came here today, you are not allowed to answer or participate because you have an advantage. That whole row over there. Okay? And this is one of the many missions I'm on, is to eradicate the connection between spirituality and woo-woo. Because the reason why someone decided to call it woo-woo, and then the lower level consciousness masses started to adopt woo-woo, is because if spirituality is woo-woo, then you're skeptical. Track with me here, because I want you to have like, oh shit moment right now. If spirituality is woo-woo, then I'm skeptical. Then I'll leave it, let's pretend this is the spirituality and the woo-woo. I'll leave it over here. I'll leave it over here, because I don't know what that is. It's unintelligent, it's bullshit. No. And what that skepticism is really doing is it is blocking you from all of yourself. It is blocking you because it's unfamiliar to you. Because we've been raised in a control matrix and a society and a collective that has been told us that it is hard and you've got to do it on your own and get it done and it's lonely at the top and push, push, push and hard, hard, hard and don't trust and you should probably, just have a good amount of judgment for the people around you and on and on and on and on we go. If we were to say, oh my God, spirituality is not woo-woo because woo-woo is just a way that we keep ourselves disconnected from the magnificence that is our higher selves. Your higher self, he, she, they are looking down upon you right now. They're like, oh, I got you. Your higher self knows like they know, like they know. They are trust, they are love. They completely understand that there's no right or wrong. There's aligned or misaligned. They're always going to guide you. They're connected to your intuition. I'm going to pause here. Do we understand why spirituality is no longer woo-woo? I don't want you to say it, and I want you to notice when you're around other people and they say it, what's happening right now? Come on. I know you're all creatives and you all have voices. So are you like, okay, do you get me, or are we still confused? It's important. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. I didn't even come up to you and like touch you yet or look deep into your eyes. But it's really, really important to recognize this. So just know, the woo-woo is driven by skepticism. The skepticism is driven by ego. The ego lives in your humanness. What it's trying to do from love is actually protect you. But what it's doing is it's screwing you over from your flow, your highest levels of creativity, your ability to connect to others with non-judgment because you finally stop judging yourself. Who's ready to stop playing the I'm not enough game in whatever capacity it shows up for you? Okay? And I appreciate those of you that are raising your hand because what I have known, and I wrote a best-selling book on it, every single being in the world struggles with some level of not enoughness. Mine was I'm not smart enough my entire life until I did the work around it, okay? So when you are not connected to your spirituality, those things plague you a hell of a lot more. Are you with me still? Okay, good. Here's the truth. Boom! That was fun. I want to dance again. Can I have a headset? Okay? This is the foundational truth. This is the scientific truth. As I ask you to pay attention to your mind and body, is anybody's mind going, nope, nope, not buying it. I'm not embracing it. I'm just checking in. And it's okay. Like you had said, this is a safe place. We're hanging out here. We're all together. How lucky are we to be together, by the way? Look at this. Look at this. This is what life is about. Okay? The foundational truth is that you are a spiritual, energetic being having a human experience. I am in one felt swoop going to change everything for you because you want to know what your problem's been this whole time. Do you want to know? Yep. You've been too human. That's it. You have been too human this whole time, and whatever part of you subscribe to any level of woo-woo or skepticism, raise your hand if you like to manifest things. Oh yeah, you're trying to manifest things. Oh, everybody. Do you know that the word manifest or how to manifest is the second most Googled topic right now? Okay, which just shows you also where we are. Okay. In addition to, the world needs you to access your spirituality more, right? I mean, come on, if you're like awake, clearly this world, the house of cards is dropping, we're rebuilding, and we need new perspective, we need new ways of being, we need new leadership. The world is starving. And the only way for us to make the significant dent that our generations are here to make is to show up differently within each one of ourselves. Each individual spiritual being having a human experience makes a direct impact on everything and everyone around them. And that's how we do the generational change that I know we're all here for. Yes? Yes. Okay, good. So now I'm going to break this down so that you really go, okay, this is awesome. She's not just crazy. I want you to take this in for a minute. You are a spiritual, energetic being. Here, I'll zhuzh this over too. Ah. I feel like, right, yeah. Okay. This is the truth. If you are a spiritual, energetic being having a human experience, then what does that really mean for us? In your humanness, that's where your ego lives. And let me be clear. We love the human part of us. You got to love all parts of you, the dark, the light, all of it, right? It's full love and self-acceptance is directly connected to your spirituality, but your humanness is where your ego is. It's also where your fear is. And for any of you who are experiencing a fear and you're not taking action, you're not showing up, something's going on, I invite you to go Google Tracy Litt TED Talk, because my whole TED Talk's on fear, so I'm not going to go deep into that because you can watch that another day. Your lack. How many of you have realized before or are working through money mindset, lack mindset, scarcity mindset? You can raise your hand. It's okay. Right? Beautiful. Thank you. Hi, guys. 3D stands for third dimensional consciousness. Okay? We're not going to do the whole thing, but I need you to understand something. We are consciousness. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are the consciousness that holds the space for all of this meat suit and the deliciousness. You are the soul and the spirit that resides inside. And now when you look over to the right side, your spiritual higher self, it's your soul, it's your love, it's your trust, it's your abundance. Your wholeness, your lovability, your abundance is actually your birthright. You don't have to earn your way there the way that the world wants us to believe you do, which feeds directly into the world's objectives, but not yours. Okay? And the fifth dimension of consciousness. So there's many dimensions of consciousness, but the ones that I teach on and care about is the third dimension, the fourth dimension, and the fifth dimension. What you need to know in this talk is the fifth dimension of consciousness is where your higher self hangs out, right? In the fifth dimension of consciousness, there's no problems. In the fifth dimension of consciousness, you are pure love. In the fifth dimension of consciousness, you trust and know and abide by the belief structure that says, everything's happening for my highest good, even when it feels like shit. Hello? Okay? Okay? I know that happens to you. You're like, but I know like everything's happening for a reason. Ugh, but. No but. No but. Okay? Okay? When life is taking a dip, which by the way is the way it goes, do you want to know the success route? The success route is not winning. The success route is much more like a heart rate monitor that trajects up, but it dips. And then it dips, and then it dips again, and it dips again. Failures, losses, things that happen because, we're having a human experience here. And it is more important than ever to be able to move through all of that in your higher self, in a higher level of consciousness, so that you don't end up being too human and something occurs and now you have a problem. This is my problem. And you have the problem and you hold the problem and you're like, oh my God, it's a fucking problem. It's such a problem. Can we talk about my problem? Look at my problem. It's such a problem. Okay? That's what's happening. I'm not going to pass you my problem because I love you and I don't have any problems. Not because there aren't opportunities, but because spirituality also gives you the gift of perspective. Okay? So I'm going to pause here. What are you feeling when you see this? And I really want to hear your voices. This is not the me show. This is for you. Peace. Hope. Yes.
Happiness.
Yes.
Happy lives, right?
Well, I would say that's where joy lives. Happy is something that's a little bit more in and out, but joy, like deep wholeness. The world could implode. Everything I've generated in the past 5 years, being who you see me being right now, could go away. And I am still joyful and whole because I'm not connected to or attached to anything that's outside of me. Yes? What were you going to say?
Awareness.
Awareness. Great. What awareness are you having now that you didn't have before? Yes, totally. Good. What about you guys in the back? What are you feeling when you're watching this?
It
You were made for me. Okay? Like I said in the beginning, I am interested in practical spirituality, just like I'm interested in practical thought work, right? And practical behavior change and practical expansion and practical healing. Because as a transformational leader, not only do I need to do an easy job of just making it make sense, which we're doing, it is my responsibility to tell you how to do it. Because to me, inspiration without application is completely useless. And I need you to hear that. Don't get all jacked up and excited and then walk out of here and do nothing. Okay? So let's move into the how, because thank you, Nicole. Nicole just gave me your time's running out. But it's okay, because we're going to do a little Q&A after. Okay? So this is where we go with this. And there's like so much more. But I just wanted to give you something so that you could leave here and go, okay, yes, I'm going to harness that, okay? The human experience, the third dimension, is where we live. It's what I'm standing in. Here we are. Also, for those of you that consider yourself spiritual, you might be forgetting about your humanness a little bit, right? I've had beautiful spiritual aligned people come to me, and the vision board's done, and they're meditating every day, and there's no action in the third dimension. Why aren't I making money in my business? Well, because you're not actually inviting anybody to do anything, and that happens over here in your humanness. Okay? Okay. So how to start, and I specifically said connecting, reconnecting, or creating a deeper connection, because we're all somewhere, right, on the connection to our spirituality. So the first thing is you being within yourself and saying, okay, so I went to Creative Mornings. I met this outstanding woman named Tracy Litt. She changed the way I see myself and the potential in the world. And because of that, I'm going to blindly believe the scientific truth she's sharing. And I'm going to embrace. Like, just a decision, you guys. It's not a 10-step process. You don't need 36 hours of healing. I just need you to make a decision. I am a spiritual being having a human experience. Sweet! That's the part I've been missing this whole time. Can I get an amen? Amen. Okay, now we're going to preach. The next piece, and this is huge, and this is what connects you to your creativity, because you're a room of creatives. And side note, just so you're aware, as you beautifully said in your journey of realizing that you're a creative, every single beautiful being in the world is creative. Creativity is not a skill. It is not something that needs to be taught. Not only because you're co-creating with this beautiful thing that's bigger than us every second of every day, but because it's like, you know, the little 5, 6-year-old you who had an imaginary friend that had roller skates for feet, and you used to eat dirt pies, and you were just living in your imagination creating. That is who you are. It's just that like a bunch of shit happened to you and it's lying on top of you and you need to get rid of it, okay? Okay. So practicing nervous system regulation to get back in your body, which is what we did this morning, dancing. That's one of the many, many, many ways you connect back to your body and you get your nervous system to go from a sympathetic state, which is stress, let's just stress, to a parasympathetic state, which is calm and centered. When you're in a stress state, right, that's like the stories you hear about moms lifting cars off of babies, okay? You are completely cut off from your ability to be creative. So if you are spending hours of your day feeling pressurized and overwhelmed and insecure and unsure and frustrated and angry and low, you are going to actively prohibit your creativity. But when you're dropped in and you're connected to your body and you are in a chill, calm state, now creativity flows, innovation, solutions, those things that you're like, oh, right? You're available for the divine downloads that are trying to make their way to you, by the way, every second of every day. And little extra fun nugget for you, whatever hit you get, if you don't action it, the universe just goes to the next person and drops it in on them, and they're like, what's she gonna do? Until someone shows up for it, okay? Okay, so we want you to practice nervous system regulation. You could do that through dance, which, like, let's just give a homework assignment. Dance every morning for a week before you start your day and watch the magic happen. You can also do it by really intentional breathing. You can do it by putting your feet in the grass, tongue circles. There's beautiful ways to do that. And then the biggest gift I'm gonna give you is the last piece. Notice. Notice when you're hesitating. Notice when you're avoiding. Notice when you're hiding. Notice when you're in lack. Notice when you're feeling insecure. And what I want you to know is that is literally the indication that you're being too human. You don't need much. You just need to notice. You need to go, oh, okay, smile, remember my face. And then you go high. The advice, right? It was, what advice do you have today? I had written on mine, go high. That's what I want you to do. Be a little less human, a little bit more often. And not only does your energy and your frequency expand because you've moved from constriction to expansion, right? But then everything opens up for you because you're actually letting your next level higher self lead. Are you with me still? How is that for a how? Does that feel good? Doable too, right? Not ridiculous. You don't even need anybody. You don't even need to do anything but just pay attention to yourself and make some new choices. Yes? Yes. Okay, good. All right, I think I made it. Did I make it, Nicole? Okay. Okay, which is challenging for me. Okay, so now that the formal part of this is over, what questions do we have? What are we feeling? And what I'd actually, if you don't have a question, I have a question. What are you aware of right now that you weren't aware of 20 minutes ago? Please.
I am worthy.
Mindy.
Thank you.
Yes! Hug me, hug me. Woo! Yes, that is the truth, by the way. It's your birthright. What else? What else are we aware of that we weren't aware of before? I know it's blocking my creativity. Yes! Yes! What else? Come on, Jenny.
All the little things that I let bother me during the day don't really matter.
Not at all. Not at all. And to your higher self, she's like looking over you going, girl, just come up here. Just come up here. Awesome. What else? What are we aware of?
I realized that I'm being too human, so I need to connect and reconnect with myself.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Ellie, that's awesome. Beautiful. Come on. More awarenesses or questions. Brendan.
Fifth dimension.
Yes. Question, or is that your awareness? Oh, beautiful. Okay, great, great. And here's what's fun. So when you have a talk like this, you actually move into the fourth dimension by realizing there was a third dimension in the first place, right? Right? And it's like, oh, that's what that was? I'm going to hang out over here for a little while because it's much nicer here. Beautiful. Yeah.
Good question. When you're really close with somebody who's not that in touch with their spiritual self, how do you not project that on them and accept them and love them fully for who they are without letting it annoy you? Like, rise up with me. Rise up with me.
This is like the most asked question in my life. So I have a couple. No.
Love and accept.
No, I get it. So there's a couple things here. Number one, there's so many things. Being aware. Okay. Number one, it's showing you that you're not in your humanness because you are getting agitated and you're in judgment of somebody else's journey. So that's just a moment. And what I would want you to do from a how perspective is first regulate your nervous system, breathe, get into it, then go high. But here's how we have to go high. Here is the reality of it. Everyone operates at a different level of consciousness, and everybody operates and is willing at different times in life, right? When I started my journey years ago, I did it the wrong way, which is why I'm so phenomenal at answering this question. And I used to go over to my husband, bitchy and righteous, and I'd be like, don't you know there's another way to live? Like, I mean, come on. You could just like change your thought. Why don't you breathe a little bit? You know, and that did not go over well for my marriage at all, at all. And it wasn't until I realized what I'm saying to you where I just appreciated, you know what? He gets to go on his path as he chooses, and I'm going to open my heart and just send that compassion his way, and I'm going to stay in my lane, focusing on myself and what I'm doing. And as soon as I did that, because where you put your focus is where you put your energy, and where you place your attention is what you actually get reflected back to you from a brain science standpoint. As soon as I did that, a little while later, maybe 6 months, a year, he'd come over, he'd be like, what you doing in that journal over there? I saw you sitting outside. You weren't on your phone. You weren't doing it. We were just breathing. What, could you show me that? And now he's a completely transformed person, and it had nothing to do with me pushing. Does that satiate the question, or is there more?
Yeah, it's my humanness that wants to push when I just need to attract and show by example.
Totally, and be there for yourself, because your energy and the regulation of your nervous system is entraining everyone around you. So the more you do that, the more you do the inner work the way that I deliver you the inner work, You are the variable that changes. And scientifically, when a variable changes, everything in proxy to that variable must shift in relation to the center variable changing. So you just do you and send out some love, and it'll happen. And if it doesn't happen, and you find yourself having to break away, which is also very real and very possible, that's okay too. Not every relationship in your life is actually for your lifetime, including familial and marital. Okay? Okay. I feel you. I feel you. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. And pain is inevitable. The suffering part is the humanness. The pain is just like, okay, I'm living. Thanks for the contrast.
So how do you take that on a more global scale, given the current happenings in the country?
Yes.
And not be triggered by it.
No, this is good. I wish this was the other day, because I did a thing the other night about this. So it's like what I was saying, but expanded. And the most important thing is, as soon as you feel yourself activated, okay, you must notice that and give your nervous system and body what it needs. Because getting activated and realizing this is unjust and unfair and I'm pissed off and I'm angry, which are all gorgeous, valid human emotions, if you sit there too long, then that starts to inform your thinking. And you think how you feel, and you feel how you think, and you think how you feel. So honoring the emotions and the release. So what does that look like? Go in your garage and scream your head off. If you have a punching bag, use it, right? Shake your body out aggressively until you feel whatever no longer needs to be felt. Once you've done that, you've come back into regulation and you have conscious choice, right? And then we can recognize that our world is imperfect and our world is unfair. And things need to fall for new things to generate and be created. And we are all being called to something bigger, to a higher consciousness. We're in a consciousness revolution right now. Every big thing that's happened outside of us is giving you an opportunity to take a look at how you're reacting and responding to it, right? So you feel your feelings, and then you show up and contribute, donate, action, volunteering, money, time, right? But you don't let yourself go down the rabbit hole of hell. Nothing, and it is helpful for no one to just be pissed off and angry and then commiserate with other people that are pissed off and angry. You are lowering the energetic resonance of this world, and that's the opposite of what we need to get to where we want to go. Are you with me still?
So it's okay to turn those people off on Facebook.
Oh, yeah, do it. Yeah, well, do whatever you need to do to protect your energy. And if that's I don't watch the news. I will not. My body like goes, ugh, as soon as I walk in and my husband's watching it, right? So whatever you need to do, and regulate yourself, feel what you need to feel, so that you can then be a contributor, right? And we're running a marathon, not a sprint. Know that too.
So
Yeah.
how do you close yourself off from all that without shutting yourself out?
What do you mean?
Well, if you don't want to watch the news,
Uh-huh.
and you don't want to take in all that negativity,
Yeah.
but still know what's happening and stay positive about it,
Mm-hmm.
how do you
Well,
balance that?
well, you can choose outlets to gain the news from when you're ready. Like you sit, you dance a little bit, and then you go, you know what, I want to be informed. I'm going to look up a few things, right? You know that you're paying attention to your body, and if you start getting jacked up again while you're watching it, shut it down, right? If you connect to your body, you will have all the answers, right? And the only way to connect to your body is to regulate your nervous system, because all of us, because of the society we live in, are operating at a little low-level acute chronic stress that you don't even recognize because you're just who you've been for so long, right? But when you start to dig into the work and you play in this space of what is really enlightenment and empowerment, everything shifts, okay? Yeah.
This is more of an observation that kind of tail off of the example you gave earlier with your husband.
Yeah.
But I personally know some people who, when they feel like they achieve, I guess, their idea or their version of spirituality,
Yeah.
they can inevitably develop an ego because they feel like this, they have this, higher sense of awareness.
Uh-huh.
So I think, and maybe this is just more of a statement and looking
Love
for
it, yeah.
validation on it, but to enter this fifth dimension and be fully aware is to understand that there's always room for growth and not letting that not seeing it more as like a milestone that I've reached. Great, I'm done. The work is over. I don't have to give it in anymore. But
Yeah.
I do know people who kind of view it that way. That
Yeah.
once they reach that point, and again, it's their definition of spirituality.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like they almost look down upon others who aren't at that level. But
Yeah.
again, important reminder is just understanding that there's always
It's so important.
Yeah.
I love what you're saying, and there's a few things I need to say about it. If ego is involved, you are not in your spirituality. Full stop. So whatever that person needs and whatever that has served them to, then that's beautiful, because each person is on their own journey and there is never a one-size-fits-all situation. Just to understand that, that is not truth, because you cannot be highly spiritual and in your ego simultaneously, just like you can't be in curiosity and judgment at the same time, okay? The other thing is I love what you're saying, because that's why when I speak and teach, everything has an ing at the end. Ing. There's no ed, right? There's no healed, grown, or expanded, or ascended. We are constantly evolving. If you are not growing, you're actually dying. And your purpose, by the way, just to clear the deck, your purpose is not what you do for a living. It is not what you monetize. And it does not live atop a high mountain somewhere that you must go find it. Your purpose in this truth is to do the inner work for yourself of healing, of growing, of expanding, of ascending, which is ultimately you evolving. So that when you do get to your last day on earth, which none of us ever know when that is, you really hit as much of your limitlessness and your love and your compassion and your potential as possible. So you're right, we're never done, ever. Okay, good. Any other questions? Yes. Noelle, no, ask. No, go girl. It's important. It's important.
It's like, I'm like, oh, I'm ready. Like, I'm going to wake up every morning. I'm going to dance for 10 minutes. And then my head goes, no, you're not. And, you know, like, I'm like, that's not going to, it's like, you're going to give up 2 days later. And I'm just like, shut up. But I feel it. I'm there. But I'm also like, how do I shut that off, that inner skeptic?
Okay, this is how you shut it off. You click that link and you come into the elevation experience. I shit you not, okay? It's, all right? The work works when you work it. It's proven. But what I really want to say about that is that is you letting your mind lead, which is beautifully okay until we've worked together and hung out and you fully understand and operate under the belief that I'm not my mind. I'm the being that has a mind. And of course, because your mind and your body are wired for survival, while you're over here saying, we're watching it in action, I'm going to do it, I'm going to dance, I'm going to show, and your mind and body are like, oh, hell no, she can't change, that's unfamiliar, she's going to die, get her to stop, let her be skeptical. And then what happens? Your mind wins and your next level loses. There's no gray here, you guys. It's either your mind wins and your dreams lose, or your dreams win and your mind loses. Right? And what I'm telling you and working with thousands of beautiful people that have transformed, like boom, it is completely possible for you. And if you are willing, it'll happen. Awesome. Okay. I think that's it. Thank you. Thank you.